Talk show. I'm a very sniffly Paul Hipkiss, and as always, I'm joined tonight by Mr. Fixer Craig Courtney.
And I'm a not very sniffly Mr. Fixer. Good evening, everyone.
Mark Meredith over in the States.
Good evening, all.
Mark Adams over there in Coventry.
Hello, everybody. I'm no sniffer.
Alan Watton right out there in East Sussex, is it, Alan? Sorry?
East Sussex, yes.
East Sussex.
Yes, good evening, everybody.
Yes. Is it sunny?
And I'm a croaky.
Not naked yet.
Yeah, a croaky Chris Brown, just about to go naked. So stand by your beds.
And saving the best till last, the one and only Claire Gibbing.
And I'm the only one technically who's still in Birmingham, apart from Paul, and I'm about to cover my eyes.
Right, carry on without me.
2 more points dropped then at home to Northampton on Saturday. That's obviously 4 points dropped now in the last 2 games. And this is my first sort of gripe slightly at the front four. I think he needs to look at it and make sure he's playing players in their best positions, especially Alfie May. And if it was me, I'd play Stansfield off the left, Williamson behind May and Anderson on the right. That's my opinion. Or you could put Anderson and Stansfield the other way around. But in my opinion now, it needs to happen because our goals have dried up a little bit, haven't they, Claire?
Yeah, I think, to be fair, the game was one-sided. First of all, I think the atmosphere was great, but I think it was good because of what they did, but we'll get onto that later.
Yeah.
I think that, we started well again. We couldn't really score a lot. We were trying to make the perfect goal. It was more give and go. It wasn't have a pop, which, Watt been shooting from outside the box. Williamson, we missed that. And I just think, me personally, and I've said it on BBC WM and I put it on X as well, that you've got to play Alfie May up top. You've got to. He scored, how many goals has he scored last 3 seasons? 35 in each. He knows this level. He can play this level. The first 4 games, he was banging the goals in because he was our best striker. I understand he's not going to let Jay sit on the bench, but to me, the best game I've seen Jay Stansfield play is probably the Fulham game when he played for Fulham. Yeah. And he was running inside. I just don't think he's the lone striker. I think he has to play off. Willem has to be the number 10.
100%.
I think it means that's why he's playing lead. I think he's playing lead because you have to have the width. And I think that because Willem comes inside, and I think I totally agree with you, it needs to be Stansfield off the left, Keshi on the right, and then May has to be in the middle. And I think you'll see the best of Alfie May. It might just be a few tweaks, or actually make it fluid so that they all twine with each other. Because at the moment we're very static. What also I found is obviously we haven't lost, so it's really difficult because it feels like a defeat.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody's being quite negative, but for me, the build-up's quite slow. So when Billick and Clara get the ball, it's very slow, it's very methodical, instead of, let's get this forward. And I just think we just need, hopefully the next 2 weeks, we just find that rhythm because we are dropping points. And I mean, it was a mistake for their goal. Yes, Anderson should have looked the right way. Iwata should have booted it into Rosette, but again, it's the playing it out from the back. But sometimes I think we need to work on game management as such. Get that ball into that corner, Yokoyama, get it into that corner, keep it in that corner, sorted. And I've just
I had to find.
I've been stopped because I can see Chris Brown.
I had to find the widest scarves.
I put the scarf on because that was horrendous.
We're going to take the scarves off.
Chris.
Wave them above your head.
I can't believe how long we've waited for this. It's been like years, hasn't it? It's got to be at least 6 years.
I think it's nearly 7 years, somebody told me today.
But yeah, for me, I mean, I can only recall, apart from picking the ball out of the net, I can only recall their goalkeeper really having 1 point blank save to make, which was off Clara, wasn't it, when Alfie May put that beautiful ball across. And Clara volleyed it straight in his arms. Either side of him, that's a goal. But that's it for their goalkeeper, which isn't good enough for all the possession we're having. We're just not posing a threat to the opposition enough, are we, Mark Meredith?
No, it's tough. It really is. I'm in agreement with both of you guys, obviously, about the the May situation. You know, I don't want it to be doom and gloom because, as you said, we still lose the game, and also, you know, still massive positives around what we're doing right now. But yeah, it's hard to take away from that game. We created a lot in the final third. We're just, as you just said, we wasn't clinical with the last kick and the shot and stuff like that. So. And it's been like that for a couple of different games, and you just feel like I just keep seeing Chris. I'm sorry. That little look.
Oh no!
I just you know,
We just don't want him to stand up.
I lost the train of thought then when he turned around. Yeah, it's been like that, and it's crying out for it, isn't it? We're always going to get caught out. We've spoke about it in the past that we boss the games. And we don't take our chances and we don't kill teams off. And it was a cliche on Saturday, wasn't it? Last kick of the game. And to be fair to him, there was a few mistakes around it. To be fair, it was a good finish in the end, but should never have ever got to him. And we should never have been in the position of just being 1-0 up in the 97th minute either.
No, I think it all boils down to players being not uncomfortable, but just not playing in their best positions, you know? Alfie May looks like he's kind of like shooed into the team in that position. You know, he's so much better as the out-and-out striker. And Stansfield, you know, you're better off giving Stansfield some space to run into rather than being the last man. When you get the ball in front of him over a defender and he can run onto it from deeper, he's more of a threat, isn't he? Like he was doing last season. You know, at the start of last season, he got off to a good start. And if I recall, we had Hogan up top then, and he was just behind him, wasn't he? And that worked, you know, and...
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's like what Claire said as well. Williamson, you're basically taking Williamson's game out of him a little bit, not putting him in the 10.
Yeah.
We are substituting May off most games because he's not showing the best of him, but he's not showing the best of him because he's not in the position. So we're losing 30 minutes of him as well on the field, and we're losing 30 minutes on the pitch of him because of him playing in a position that he's not used to, and we're not getting the best out of him. I think if he starts at the 9, I think he plays 90 minutes every week.
Yeah. But the amount of times that we went forward on Saturday and then the ball comes back, it just filters into nothing. You know, we don't put a good enough ball in the box, or we don't put a ball in the box at all and we check it back, or we can't clear the first man. You know, it just happens too often. And even if we do get a good cross in, there's not a lot of height in there, is there, with Stansfield as the 9? You know, you need, and Williamson is playing just behind, so he's not always in the box either. So, you know, I think, as we've already said twice now, that Williamson definitely needs to be in the middle and needs to be that outlet behind Alfie May. And I think we'll see a massive difference then when that happens. But for me, they had the better chances, even though we had 25 shots, 3 on target, and I think they had about 5 and had 3 on target as well. And their chances were better than ours. You know, Allsop made a really good save low down to his right in the first half, and Bielik made a really good clearance off the line as well in the second half before they actually went on to score in the last kick of the game, didn't they, Alan?
Yeah. Sit down, Chris.
There are people who still don't believe me.
I mean, I just say one thing about Sanderson. From where I was sitting, I was probably a lot closer than all of you. He was trying to let that ball run through to the keeper. And the reason he took his eye off the ball was to stop himself running into our keeper. And unfortunately, when he did that, the ball hit him on the foot. Now, I just shuddered. And what's going on? And I couldn't. In fact, you told me on the phone that it was Iwata that passed the ball to. I had no idea of that because there was just a clump of players and the ball suddenly popped out like an orange pip straight to this bloke and he smashed it in his net. Now, no, unfortunate is an understatement. I mean, yes, it was a great shot, but I'll guarantee that bloke could have another 50 shots from there and never get one in. There was only probably 3 feet of that goal that he could have put it in, and he did.
Yeah.
So, what do you say about that? Is it bad play, or is it bad luck? Now, we lost top spot in the division in midweek without playing because Wickham scored 5 when they only actually needed 2 to overtake us because they've scored more goals than us. So that was a pretty miserable evening. I sat watching that And, they just virtually scored every time they got in the box. Now, I've watched Birmingham now for, how much is it, 3-4 months? And we've had that type of situation non-stop. We were 92% possession at half time. 92%. And we had trouble there, keeper. And it's all too slow.
Yeah.
Now, it's very difficult to speed the game up if your opponents are 30 yards away, all lined up on the edge of the box. There's no point. There's no point in speeding it up. But we've got to find a way of breaking, not just get the ball off them, which we did over and over and over again. They just giving us the ball back, and then we start the passing along. But when we get the ball back, we need to be playing it forward quickly.
Yeah.
So they don't get a chance to. They were now moving forward. They lose the ball and then whoop, they're back again. And by the time we made 2 or 3 passes along the back line, it's like New Street Station in there, and we've got to finish. We just got to finish. Now this May Stansfield situation, I would like to see a plan where we get the best out of both of them.
Yeah.
Now, we don't seem to be able to do that. We can get, obviously, when Alfie was on his own, we got the best out of him. We're getting the best out of Stansfield. I mean, people were criticising. He's our leading goal scorer. He's got 7. And, we can't ask any more than that. But then you think, oh, well, he could have had hat-trick Saturday.
Yeah.
The side foot past the keeper and the header and whatever. But even the best strikers don't take every chance, do they?
No.
And some other people have got away. What I would really like to see, we've got 2 blokes in midfield, Peake and Iwata and Williamson, have a bloody shot from outside the box. Now, okay, a lot of them get blocked, but let's try and get one early in the piece instead of trying to weave it into the 6-yard box so somebody can have a tap in by the time they've got 8 or 9 players there. Let's get it spinning across the box and somebody having a 20-yard shot. Now, we do that and we missed the target by miles. I mean, against Sutton, Peake had 3 or 4 and he's got a hell of a shot on him. But they didn't get the roof of the stand. Come on, man. You're a professional footballer. You should at least get the goalkeeper working, and that's the frustration to me. I'm a bit, it's, what do they call it? Where you see the same thing over and over again in a day.
Groundhog.
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog. It's like, that's it, Groundhog Day. Here we go again. And it's just the title of the opposition is the same, different, and we see the same match almost.
That's the other one, isn't it? Insanity, same thing over and over again, and expecting different results. You've got to, for me, Stansfield. And I don't want to sort of repeat myself again, but the reason Stansfield and I mean Stansfield's done well since he's been here. Don't get me wrong, but I just think his best position would be off the left, and then May up front. It would just suit them both better. And I still think they get bags loads of goals as well, but. For me, with all due respect to them, I think Northampton are the worst team we've played in this division so far.
Absolutely, yes.
They were pretty poor, weren't they, Ro?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much difference, to be honest, Paul, between them and Sutton. Quality-wise, it's just like a Sutton sort of side.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with what everyone else says, but the thing that struck me on Saturday is that everything goes wide. It's almost like a rugby pattern of play. It's like sideways, wide. We've got to just get it down the middle a lot more because... we've got the cutting players there down the middle, but for some reason we just insist on going wide every time.
Yeah.
And again, I do think we missed the quick balls by Taylor Gardner-Hickman. Because his balls were early, they were fast, they had pace, and we didn't have any of that on Saturday. So many times down that side we failed to beat the first man. But yeah, I mean, it's. I wouldn't say it was a poor performance. I thought it's positive, but it's just poor performance to me is not creating anything. Misplaced passes. it was more frustrating. And to be honest, when the whistle went, I just dreaded the meltdown on social media.
No, I'm still confident that come the end we will be lifting that.
We'll be champions. I'm convinced we'll still win it. I don't think there's anyone man for man who in that league can touch us.
Yeah, over the 46 games, we've got the best squad, we've got the best players. You know, and I just think that we'll have too much for everybody over the 46 games. But there will be bumps along the way. Oh my God, what's he doing now?
Oh no.
There will be bumps along the way. And it's not an easy league, is it? You know, as Sunderland proved a few years ago, you know, it took them, 4 seasons to get out of it, was it?
Yeah, exactly. And as well, but the thing is as well, Paul, sorry, we're the only side in the country that's just lost 1 league game. Yeah. So it's not all I don't come across as though this is all doom and gloom, but
not at all. The only negative is, you know, we've had loads and loads of possession in the last 2 games, Mansfield away, you know, in the league this is, and Northampton at home, and we just haven't capitalised on it. You know, we're not doing enough with it. And in my opinion, that's because we haven't got players in the front 4 playing in their best positions, have we, Craig?
No, I think we've got to do some shuffling about. But I mean, it's interesting listening to all of the updates and the way things are. It's also bear with me.
Yeah.
Is that Alfie May?
Yeah. That's a £10 fine. That is. He's off.
Don't blame him.
It was a big call, that one.
It was a big one, wasn't it? Blimey.
Might be for his dog.
Yeah, it's probably his dog.
So yeah, and then, you know, we move on. We've got another international break now, and obviously time to prepare for the next game, and we'll see how we go in that one. But I want to talk a little bit as well about the minute silence, or the 2-minute silence before the game, obviously, and the last post, etc. And for me personally, I think I know there was the one moron in the Northampton end that was shouting out, but a lot of other noise was coming from people coming into the stadium from outside as well, not knowing that it was being observed. And I think we need to put on the screens outside St Andrews. We've got 2 massive screens on the outside of the Cop now, and you can put signs up outside the away end as well, or on the TVs going into the Gilmerick, that a minute silence is now being observed. Please remain silent. Just put that up on the screens and put that up on the TVs going into the stadium. And people will see that and they'll, you know, respect it, hopefully, you'd like to think, and walk in then, you know, being silent. What do we think?
Yeah. I'm not being funny.
Yeah, go on, Claire.
I'm not being funny, but as a football fan, you know that there is going to be a Remembrance game.
Yeah.
The closest date to Remembrance Sunday is the Saturday before. Yeah. Everybody else did it. I've got to admit, I've been to plenty of away games near. This time last year, I went to Sunderland. They were epic, considering there's about 45,000 there. Mansfield was amazing. Like, you couldn't even hear a pin drop. I do think it was good because they had like a voiceover as well. I just think that the problem is that you do get a few idiots that will say it. The problem is we had the idiots in the Northampton end. It doesn't help when people are shouting, "Can you please shut up?"
No, I know, yeah.
Which then makes it even worse. And I just think that it's been a thing over this weekend. It's not just been the Blues game. We've had a couple of other incidences, and I think, you know, it's been all over social media, the fact that it's going to be our Remembrance game. Putting up on a big screen, I think, is a good idea as well. The stewards need to tell people, just let you know, when they're like, you know, wanting you, just saying, just a reminder to go in. I just think it's a shame because it wasn't every single Northampton fan. And I said to one of my mates at work today, and I went, Northampton? They went, really? Like, wasn't that like part of the war and blah, 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 blah? Yeah. I don't know. But it doesn't surprise me anymore. But at the same time, you know, use your head, guys. Like, just 2 minutes of quiet. It's not hard at a football match.
No, absolutely.
It didn't help that the guy doing the introduction said there would be the last post, then a minute's silence. And what happened was there was a minute's silence, then the last post was played. Got it the wrong way round. Yeah. And people were waiting for this bloke to start playing, and he didn't. And that's when the shouting said, "Get on with it," you know. And then when he finished, he went. Of course, people were getting they've been standing up for 10 or 15 minutes, and he went. He did it to death in the end. So people wanted to get on with the game. It was delaying the game. Now it's still inexcusable. You should have had your moan when he finished. But that was a little bit of organisational, and
part of it was down to
people should recognise that, and these people coming in late. How stupid are they? Don't they know what day it is? You come to a match.
Yeah.
You know what to expect.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be coming in late. They should be in their seats.
It might have slipped their minds, Alan, that they might have been in the pub a few hours and had a few. You know what I mean? And you're going into the stadium. It's forgivable for it to slip your mind, but I do honestly think that if we put it up on the screens outside to let people know,
it was announced. It was
puppies flying down on the screen for 10 minutes before. It was,
but they don't know. Just because there's puppies going down on the screen, they don't know that the silence is being observed at that particular moment in time as they're going into the stadium. It needs to be put on there to say, minute silence now in process. Please be silent.
We shouldn't. As a club, though, we shouldn't have to do that. The fact was there was an announcement made across the Tannoy and over the new sound system that said people need to get to their seats. That was done 15 minutes prior to when that started. Right? So there was no excuse, first of all, for people being late coming in. The queues were not queues like they have been outside. People had abided by it and come in. So what you've got is a minority. But also to go back to the announcement that was made was that the silence would start on the referee's whistle. There was no whistle.
There was no whistle there.
I recorded it and I've listened to it back and there is no whistle. So actually, who's at fault there? The ref. It's announced he's going to do it. He hasn't done it. So that, and quite rightly, people didn't know what was going on. It went silent. You then had the last post. Perfectly observed and perfectly played. Congratulations to the gent that was on the pitch doing it. Because I've heard some over the weekend that, bless them, tried too hard, made mistakes. That one, perfect. Then you had, going into the silence, people started shouting. But the thing I loved the most, we ended it with applause. Because that could have got a lot worse. That could have been a lot stupider from a fan's perspective, but they didn't. They ended it with applause. Sorry for dashing off. Just to go back what I was thinking and going to say about the players. Just going back that step, it's interesting to listen and read Chris Davis's point of view on the whole Alfie May and Stansfield situation, and that is that he firmly believes that Alfie May can play a number 10 position. He wants him to be playing in that position. So I think if he's obviously seeing something on the training ground that's giving him that impression, he's obviously seeing something in Alfie May that is saying, I'm going to continue playing that way. Otherwise, he will make changes, and we've seen it before. He's not afraid to drop players.
What's it been now? About 9 games him and Stansfield have played together, and how many goals he scored, mate? About 1.
However, we have been playing teams that have pumped banks behind them. I look at Saturday.
Sorry, Craig. We were doing that at the start of the season, and Alfie May scored 4 goals before when he was playing.
Stansfield wasn't in the team, though, was he, at the time?
Exactly. So I'm not saying to take Stansfield out of the team, but I just think that Alfie May in his best position, we're a different team. We really are. And also, like Claire said, Williamson behind him and Stansfield on either flank. I just strongly believe. Sorry for butting in, by the way, but I strongly believe that we'd be so much better if we did that.
I think we've got to give it time as fans, because there's obviously he is seeing something that's making him say that they can do that. Well, because he has took that in the past. He has dropped players when they haven't turned up or haven't done what they are supposed to be doing. No. We've seen that already. But across the whole team on Saturday, there was only really, I would say, 2 players for me that stood out. One of them was Bielik. Considering he come back into that team, he was complete work. The effort was phenomenal. And then the other one was the left back.
Yeah, Cochrane.
He was solid. But then I look at the rest of the team, and actually, did Anderson give 100%? No. And I don't know what happened, incidentally, at the end of the game, right? But if we've got a player that's having a go at fans and there's justification behind it, leave the player alone. Because I did see gestures coming out the Tilton towards the players. So if he's spotted something and he's having a go back, fair play. If he hasn't and nothing has actually happened and he's moving off, then he's got to come out and apologise. But also on that side of it, I like the passion.
I think rewinding to what you said there, Craig, did Anderson give 100%? I think he did. I think that the work rate and the effort is always there. It's just that quite a few players on Saturday, unfortunately, just had a below par performance.
Well, we were playing against 2 banks of 5 as well. There was nothing else there.
They're just coming.
Yeah, but doesn't this show? Sorry for butting in, but like with the possession, it's lovely having 79% of the possession. Yeah. It's what you do with that possession, and it's like to me, we've said it on our chat. When are we going to get this attacking coach? Because we've never been the same. We've never been the same without BT there. It's not saying that we have to have him. Like, have we got a set piece coach? Because everybody else seems to be getting one, because we only score once or twice off set pieces. We need, we're trying to be world class. We're trying to get this squad together. We're trying to get the management and everything. Why haven't we got that yet? Because every other team seems to have it. If we want to be world class and we want to get back to the Premier League and Championship and all this, surely one of the scoring goals, that is what is going to win you games. Yeah. So maybe we need to have a look at it, because for me, with the May situation, it's like putting Forsell back in a number 10 role. Because to me, May reminds me of Forsell in so many ways in that box, the movement and everything. And I think, we just need that attacking coach or set piece coach or something just to give us that edge.
Yeah.
What
Chris Davis is doing is wrong. We've drawn a game. We've lost one. We're doing really well in the cup. We're doing all these really good things. But if we need that extra 10%, we need something to change.
Yeah, we've only had a player score more than 20 goals in a season once in the last 30 seasons, and that was Shay Adams, and that was when BT was here coaching him. Yeah. So there's definitely something in that for me as well. And I've been saying it for years on here, and since James Beattie went, really, I said bring him back.
So the whole of this show so far and all the comments that I've seen on the message board, we drew a game, we ain't lost. But look how disappointed we all are.
I know.
But is that a good thing or a bad thing? And I'll put that out to the viewers, because for me, I like it in one way, but I don't like it in another, because I don't want to say that expectations should be as high necessarily as they are at the moment. I know we've got the best squad, but
we spent the most money by how much as well. We spent the most money by millions and millions and millions as well. We really should be running away with this division, and it's just a bit disappointing at the moment to see us second, and I know we've got a game in hand, and if we win it, we'll go top, but it's just a little bit disappointing after the last 2 games. But it's not all doom and gloom, for God's sake. I don't want to come across as though it's all doom and gloom, because it's not. But
we haven't lost, and it was a sucker punch in the very last minute. No other way to describe it. It was a proper kick in the teeth, and I think everybody come away thinking that was just like losing a game.
Yeah, because
you've got to earn the right to win games.
Yeah, let's not forget as well, we've got a manager there that he's learning on the job. He's young. It's his first job as the number 1. So, I've liked what I've seen of him so far, don't get me wrong, but I just think for me, he just needs to make that tweak with the front 4. And going back to what Mark said about Gardner Hickman's delivery as well from the right, I totally agree with that. I like Laird. His work rate's good. He gets up and down, and he's good in a challenge and all that. But if I was with him on the training ground, and this attacking coach, if we had one, might be able to sort of get him crossing the ball a little bit better, because his final ball just lets him down for me a lot. Sorry, Claire.
It's fine. I just think that the thing is that, I know a lot of the viewers are saying we've only drawn, and we are annoyed about it. We're frustrated because we know we could have won that game, because we know Northampton wasn't great. And I think, we've got so much potential, and I think it's unlocking the potential. We're all not like moaning. We're just finding how can we just unlock it? How can we, at the start of the season, we were unlocking defences, Leighton Orient away, Wickham away, all these places. What's that slight change that we can make to make it better. But at the end of the day, we don't choose the team. I think Laird's on there because of his pace and because he keeps the width. Because when Williamson goes inside, you've got to have someone like Laird up and down that wing, and he can constantly do that. And because we play the crossfield ball over, I mean, the amount of times he went past that Northampton left back was unbelievable. Yeah. Okay, does he need to work on his delivery? Of course he does. But if he had the delivery, he probably would be playing in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So it's something that he needs to work on. Yes, can Garden Hickman play slightly better? Of course he can, but he doesn't have the pace that Laird has. They're two totally different players. It's like comparing Hanson and Anderson. They're two totally different players. May and Stansfield, two totally different players. So I'll always back Laird, but I do get where people are coming from, and it is something he needs to work on. But again, we got 2 weeks, and normally after the international break, we normally win, don't we? Because we've had 2 weeks with them. We've had very much, like Laird said it exactly after the game, we've got actually a period of time where we can actually work with the players instead of it being Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday. Yeah. So let's see what they can do.
I've got to read out some of the comments on the message board, by the way.
I'm just looking at that one, Craig. That's quality from Ian Clayton. On a bright note, we now know how our neighbours felt when Stern John
Exactly,
yeah, that's true.
Few from before that as well.
What was that? I didn't catch that. Can you say that again?
Yeah, Ian Clayton said, on a bright note, we now know how our neighbours felt when Stern John equalised in the last minute.
I mean, Nigel Manners said, wow, we've drawn. Season over, laughing face. What a great dilemma to be in.
Yeah.
Also raised the question, is the expectation killing us? Which I think is, like I've just said.
Yeah.
Dave Twine, last season, 5 games over the same period, and we'd lost 4 and drew 1.
Yeah, so up at a high level, though, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Linda Renshaw. Chris,
yeah, she wants to see my new...
whether she can see the new microphone.
Yeah, okay, so she's got to look closely. You'll see it popping up now. Hang on.
This should be on after 12.
How are you feeling there, Chris?
It's only a microphone.
Chris, are you cold there?
I'm freezing.
I know it's bloody freezing in there.
It's absolutely freezing. There's no heating in here. But the thing is, because I've got a chest infection, I'm really hot.
every cloud and all that.
Oh, no, yeah.
I also want to send our best wishes on to a gentleman on Saturday who I believe fell on the steps and banged his head. I believe he's recovering while in the QE, and we send our best regards on to him for a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can get back home soon if he isn't already, and we hopefully see him back down the Blues for the next home game.
Indeed, and fair play to all of the stewards and support staff that actually helped on the day, because I think the getting to him and getting him away really quickly has helped massively. So congratulations to everybody that was involved at the time, because you've done an absolute sterling job. And yet another example of how good our NHS is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Craig, let's move on to the women then. So top of the league and a 2-1 win yesterday at London City, I believe, yeah?
Indeed. London City Lionesses, fantastic performance. And actually, I think I'd echo a lot of what people said, which is actually it's the best that I have seen that team play for a very, very, very long time. In the first half, considering it was a battle of the top 2, the winner took top spot no matter what. And in that first half, we totally and utterly outplayed them. They couldn't touch the ball. They couldn't get anywhere near us. We scored 2 great goals. Jamaloli, fantastic finish. And then on to another defender in Neve Heron getting the second goal. So it's nice that the goals are coming from all over the place. But second half, the team showed the resilience and the graft. But arguably, we've been lacking last week against Newcastle. Amy Merrick said after the game at Newcastle that she wanted to see a bounce back from the team. She wanted to see a performance. And my God, if they've stepped up to that level now, they can only get better, because as she said, they've got to go up levels and continue to grow on top of those levels to take us further. So, tough second half, really ground out the results. Nervy, very nervy last 5 minutes after they'd got their goal. But great to see us coming away with the results. Going into now a long break between games in the league. So we now actually don't have another league game until middle of December. And that's a home game against Charlton. So another big game that will be. But we've got cup games in between. And I think what we'll see with the team is she's going to be testing a few things. She'll be treading the water to see what other players can do and how they can bring it forwards. But we're top of the shop and we're 3 points clear. We're substantially ahead on goal difference as well. And it's looking very, very rosy. And, you know, if we continue to be that way, then we'll take that one and only spot in the league and get ourselves promoted. But it was absolute heaven to watch the game and see how well they played.
Meredith, I want to come on to you, mate, and I want to go back to your time at the club when you was working for the Blues, and I don't think we've really been over this on the show. You know, tell us what your job was exactly, what you did, and you know how it sort of helped you now with what you're doing nowadays.
Yeah, so obviously got quite lucky to start with. I went to Solihull College, and the community department was overseeing the college at the time. So did all my coaching badges and started part-time just in the community. It was crazy, you know, carrying bags of balls on the bus, getting to different local schools and just doing that stuff. And then
sorry, when you're doing your coaching badges, then are you mainly out on the training ground, or are you at a desk, you know, filling in?
Yeah, so it's a bit of both. You do certain hours of you know, work out on the training ground. You have to go and watch sessions, and then you have to put sessions on yourself and get graded with them. And then you also get a lot of paperwork as well, different exercises you have to go and do. So it's about a year's course, and there's a lot of different things in it. I was lucky enough to be able to go to the training ground and watch, you know, I think Steve Bruce at the time was the first team manager. So watch sessions, get ideas, pick things up. So it made it a little bit easier for me doing that. And then because that was only part-time coaching, the admin reception job came up at Birmingham. So I ended up being the receptionist on cop reception then for just over a year. So I did that. Was front of house for match days and obviously things like that. And then the admin, the academy administrator's job came up at the training ground, which was basically, you know, looking after the scholars and looking after their contracts and all that sort of stuff. And then just to pass over from the academy to the first team if those players went through. So I went and I've worked full time then at Wast Hills doing that. And a part of that job was to be able to coach the academy teams. So the under 12s and under 14s, I coached their academy teams at Wast Hills. So got a lot of experience. And the nice thing about being at Blues, one, not just because I was a big supporter, and obviously my family are big supporters, but obviously when I worked there, it was all in one training ground, under one roof. So you had the first team staff in with the academy staff. So you learned so much on a daily basis. Yeah. And that's a little bit different now with obviously the two venues being worked. So yeah, but we basically every day when we were the first team were there, they were training, they were having their, you know, friendly games, the reserves were practicing, the academies were there. So we were basically one big family, and you learn so much just from every day hanging with the players and that sort of stuff. So pretty much what's helped me now in the States is that because of my experiences, not just on the field, it's actually in the office doing the admin stuff as well. It's pretty much allowed me now to do what I'm doing as a director of coaching here now in the States, because a lot of this is office-based work, along with, you know, setting up new programs and new curriculums and things like that for the kids out on the field. So that's basically something that I've been really blessed with, is the fact that I've had, you know, 10 to 12 good years at Blues. And loved every minute of it, being a supporter as well, and then take that experience into what I do here now in the States.
Yeah, and I guess the next step, I mean, what is the next step for you? Is it to kind of get into first team football? Have you got the qualifications to do that, or do you have to do more badges for that?
No, I have the qualifications to do it. It's a little bit more difficult here, obviously, in the States, just with the MLS and stuff like that. It's not, you know, they've got one main league, where in England you've got X amount of leagues and teams. So for me, the biggest thing for me now is just to continue. I love youth football. I've always been in youth football. So it's just to continue that and hopefully get to a stage where I can either run my own club or direct at, a youth academy somewhere within the MLS system.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
But no, we had some, I got some great memories of the time, and it's sometimes, good ones and bad ones, but it's sometimes hard as well when you do support the team, because the crazy thing was when I was at Birmingham, there wasn't many staff that were diehard supporters that, lived and breathed the club. And I was one of those, and there was a couple of others. So yeah, I was disappointed on weekends at games, and then you have to go in on Monday morning and work with these guys. And so it's difficult to do a professional stance and do a supporter stance at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's nice now being able to look back and and give my opinion on things, still knowing many people at the club.
Yeah. What's your best and worst memory from when you was at the club?
I think the Carling Cup final has got to be your best one. I think the fact
we got. Did you travel there with the club then at the time? Yeah,
we travelled with the club. We got to see, got to do a lot of the things after the game with the trophy and all that celebrations and stuff like that. Was in the training ground the couple of days after for all of the player celebrations and things. So for that was great. There was always difficult ones, because obviously there was always the ones when you lose to the team down the road. That was never a nice Monday going in after that.
Yeah.
And then obviously relegations as well, because the problem was with relegations is you never knew if you were going to be able to keep your job.
Yeah.
Being in the academy system, you wasn't sure if they were going to cut the system to save money, or they were going to bring in a new manager that wanted his own staff. So you always had those moments where you just had to basically sit tight and hope that passed your head and you can continue to do what you can. So yeah, I seen Steve there, obviously Alex McLeish there, Chris Houghton there. So we've seen quite a few different faces come in, but I've been lucky enough to be able to stay in the what I was doing.
Yeah,
and then fantastic because you've seen so much different work from different people.
Mm-hmm. You have to share some of if you've got many photos from the time and stuff and memories, you'll have to share them on the Tilton Talk Show page if you've.
No, 100% I will. Yeah, I got a couple of different photos from when I went to my parents' house a couple of weeks ago. So I'll definitely share some of those. We used to do a really good thing in the academy. Every year we'd take one team picture with everybody from academy staff to first team staff, all the way down from the U9s all the way to the first team.
That's great.
So everybody was on the photo, which was were really good to keep for everyone. Yeah. So
I think if anyone from the club's watching tonight now, I think that's a great idea to do now as well.
God, I hope
I think they may still do it, and I think it's for the little ones. I hope they do, because for the little ones, it was an amazing day for them. They made it a whole day event, and they got to meet the players in the photo, and it was something that the parents and grandparents kept on their walls. I'm sure still to today.
Yeah.
From the one that we have.
Yeah, because I've not seen one of those for years. I don't know about anybody else. Have you?
No.
No.
I don't know if they published them though, because I don't remember the one that I've got or the two that I have. I don't think they've ever been published out in the press.
Sorry, so you don't actually see the senior playing squad with all the coaches and whatever. We used to get that every year. But that doesn't seem to be done anymore.
No, that used to be an exciting time as well, waiting for the team picture to come out. But I'm with you, Alan. We don't see a lot of that anymore, and with the new kit on and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think if someone is listening, I think that academy one used to be amazing. It was such good positive energy around it, and as like I say, it may have been a long day for the first team to be around and having to deal with it, but for the 9-year-old kids, it was a dream come true for them to be able to look up and see the first team in front of them.
I remember the first team photo when Barry Fry was in charge, and everyone thought there was a pitch invasion.
No, mate, that picture was bigger than our academy one, and we had 15 each.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Paul, excuse me, I'm just going to look for a paparazzi.
Anyone who might not know, we've been saying on this show for years, the next time we
no.
Now we're all right.
the next time we score 6 goals in a game, I think we said it in about 2019 or something, that Chris will come on the show naked. He'll present the show naked. So anyone wondering what the hell's going on, that's exactly why Chris is naked, because we scored 7 goals against Fulham under 21s.
Well, see, at the
I
time,
have no idea where Craig Courtney's gone as well. He seems to have disappeared.
Yeah,
maybe
his dog's not very well. So.
Paul, there's an interesting fact. If you go back to the 7 at Stoke and the 7 at Oxford, I'm almost certain that the following week at home, we drew 1-1.
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
One was Grimsby.
One
was yeah, well, yeah. And you keep thinking to yourself, well, if we'd have won 3-1 and kept 4 goals back for these two, you know, we'd have had 6 points instead of 4. You know.
Yeah.
But I feel a little bit like that about, you know, we've suddenly scored 7 and everything in the garden's rosy. We can't find the net since.
I know.
And you're thinking, well, we were 2-1 would have been enough. Save the other 5 for the other 2 games.
I mean, it wouldn't have been moaning much if we'd have won 1-0 on Saturday. It was just a lapping.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, obviously it switched off. Just a lack of concentration in the last kick of the game.
I guarantee you'd have had the same moanings on Twitter and whatever if we'd have won 1-0. It's only got a little bit worse.
Well, according to some, our bubbles burst, but that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
No, it's a long goal.
That's nonsense. Yeah.
I think the main problem is we played Mansfield and we let a goal in late, and we've played these and we've let a goal in late. So, you know, it is kind of like, it was a sucker punch, wasn't it, really?
I mean, really, their goal should have been a consolation, not an equaliser.
Yeah.
No,
So I'll put the ball in the back of the net, and that's what the game's all about.
Exactly right. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. Claire stole the words out of my mouth there. You see, my mouth was moving, but Claire was speaking.
I might not have my coaching badges, but I do know what I'm talking about.
But no, that's exactly what I was going to say, though. I said, you know, it's at the end of the day, even if we won the game 1-0, you still look at it and go, we need to kill these teams off way before the final. We got caught out Saturday in the last minute, and that, we have to take the point. But we shouldn't in this league with the players that we have and the amount of possession, like Alan spoke about, the possession we have in the game. We should never be going into the injury time at 1-0 and holding on.
No.
It goes back to my saying, doesn't it? And, you know, I've said it on here many times. It's like a fart that don't smell in it. You have all that possession and you don't score.
Seriously, definitely.
I'll tell another thing that on Saturday, they scored in the 97th minute, and that 7 minutes were added on for their time wasting.
I know.
So we had to defend for an extra 7 minutes because they wasted time when it was 0-0. Yeah. Now, I don't quite know how to do this, but the referee should know who's been, you know, he said, we'll put 3 minutes on because obviously, you know, we had to fetch the ball and blah, blah, blah. So some of that 7 minutes would have been asked. And he just said, 3 minutes, finish. You know, you're not getting an advantage for your cheating, basically.
Yeah.
And it's something that bugs me, you know. But equally, we, you know, if we'd have been a goal down, we'd have wanted him to play another 10. But there you go. Yeah. But it was annoying, and the referee booked somebody in the 85th minute or something for time wasting. Well, that should have been done in the first 10 minutes. Their goalkeeper went on a walkabout from ball one, and the referee should have said, yellow card. Now do it again. You miss the rest of the game. No, that puts an end to it. It stops.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I admit, though, having a look, I kind of agree with Michael Woods here because he's put beforehand we were losing goals early. So what's the best thing? Is it that we go a goal down and then it kind of gives us a push, or is it that? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to kind of gauge, isn't it? Really.
I think it changes the opposition's mentality, doesn't it? Oh, we're coming here for the draw with a goal up.
Yeah.
So they don't throw the bus in front of it. That, you know, they start to play, and then we can get through that. And it's the better sides have done that. The Wrexhams and the Peterboroughs, they didn't actually come and park the bus. They come to give us a game to some extent. This lot and Sutton never wanted, even when Sutton went a goal down, they never had an attack.
They were happy to lose 1-0.
They're happy to lose 1-0.
I mean, we're gonna. To be honest, though, like I say, we're gonna come up against a lot of teams like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think thinking back now, there's a good half a dozen games where we've gone a goal down and gone on to win, isn't there? Wrexham, Peterborough, Wickham away. Help me out here. Wickham away. Leighton Orient away. Did we go a goal down? I can't.
No, we went a goal up. Well, that was a game of 3 mistakes.
Yeah.
There was 3 mistakes brought the goals, and they made 2 mistakes. We made 1.
Yeah.
And the rest of the game was very much like, we got the ball and they hadn't.
Yeah.
I do believe, Paul. I do believe though, if with what we've seen in like the early games, like you just spoke about, if we'd have gone 1 down in 7 minutes instead of losing a goal in 97 minutes, for instance, I don't think the game would have been a draw.
No.
I think we probably would have been better than them with 2 goals at least. So I do think that and it shouldn't. We don't want to concede any goals, but when you do concede a goal, we're better as a team when we do concede early, and then we go like the key thing is getting back into the game and then outplaying people. But yeah, it's nobody wants to lose a goal. Unfortunately, it was the 97th minute, and the whistle for the referee's whistle was about 60 seconds later, wasn't it? So there's no chance of you going to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, did we say that Craig? I take it we're not going to see Craig again on the show.
He should be back on soon.
Yeah, I'll come back on. Yeah,
There's one thing I want to ask the viewers. Do you think we make too many subs? Because what I notice is we always use every sub.
Well, I think
it's not like we go, I don't know, does it stop the flow of it? Does it help? Does it not help? Like, do you know what I mean? Do we need to make 5 subs every single game? Because do you know what I mean? Like, are we forcing the subs? I don't know, because I feel like sometimes we're in our flow. We make a couple of subs and then we're like, is it more stop-start? Is it adding on time to the end as well? Because isn't it like 20-30 seconds a sub? I don't know.
I mean, we scored what was it? What was the goal time on Saturday? About 58 minutes.
Yeah.
Like and then 3 minutes later, after 61 minutes, he subs Alfie May as we've sort of hit the crest of a wave of going 1-0 up. So maybe that does affect it a little bit. I'm not saying that's
I thought Harris came on and started brilliantly. I mean, he looked like a fresh pair of legs, and he hit the post with a header. I think if you're going to have that kind of play where you dominate the ball for 80 minutes out of the 90, you're going to get a lot of tired people out there. Yeah. And just to send some fresh legs on, and it's not like we weaken the side, is it? Anderson came off, Yokoyama come on. That didn't weaken the side. Harris added to the party.
Yeah. Do we think Yokoyama's pushing Anderson now for that position on the left?
I think so.
Yeah.
I do think he's an impact sub, though, isn't he? To me,
yeah.
If you've had Anderson or Hansen or say Joe Stansfield played out there or anybody like that, and they run at you for 60, 70 minutes, and then you see Yokoyama come on, you're thinking, oh great, here we go. And I think he's more of like a super sub to me. He impacts the game. He should have kept that ball in the corner instead of going for it. That's obviously his age. Exactly. I think it's his game management skill, and I think that you need to train them into that. But I think that he definitely, if I was a right back and he came on, I would be like, oh, here we go. Like, I've just had 70 minutes, I'm shattered. Can you help me? Kind of thing. So I don't think he's I think against like Shrewsbury and people like that, especially in the Cups, start him. But I think for league games, bring him on and he can make a massive difference.
Yeah, that's our next game, isn't it? Shrewsbury away.
Yeah.
Just adding to that, Craig, on the substitution stuff. Like, I'm sorry, Craig, Paul. I was just saying, Craig said earlier about Alfie May and that Davis believes he can play that position. The substitutions in the 60th minute every week for May makes me believe that Davis doesn't think that. Like, why would you take that player off after an hour every week if you believe that was his position on his field? He's taking him off for a reason, right? And I think that's his first thing in his mind every week now is, right, we'll play May in that 10. After an hour, if it's not working, we'll pull him off and we'll put in Harris, or we'll put Williamson there and bring somebody else on. But it affects what is our best striker on the field because he's playing in a position that he shouldn't be playing in. And I think that becomes a sub every single game. That's a banker. Like I go into games now thinking that there's no way May's finishing the 90 minutes unless he changes his position on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Chris, do we have the Who, I believe?
Yes, we have got a Who. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So this is a former guest?
It is a former guest, yeah. I'm not going to give any more clues, but yeah, he's a former guest.
Nice.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okie dokie, stand by your beds.
Like I say, and then when Gary came in, it kind of all changed for me up here.
Yeah, I know that is.
Oh, for God's sake. Anybody else?
Yeah.
I know. Let's give our viewers a chance.
Yeah. Did you get it, Mark? Any of the marks? Claire?
I think so.
I
I haven't got it.
No? Okay. All right. Okay. I'll play it again for our guests.
Play it once more.
Here we go.
Like I say, and then when Gary came in, it kind of all changed for me up here.
And straight in, we have a winner.
There you go.
So on Facebook, we've got Tom Richardson, who was spot on with Gleeson. There you go.
Yeah, Stephen Gleeson, yeah.
There we go. Stephen
Yeah,
Gleeson.
a couple of people have said Jeff Kenner and Keith
I
Farr.
sound like Jeff Kennedy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keith
When
Farr,
you said
yeah.
when Gary came, I thought it can't be Jeff Kennedy.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm going to
Yeah.
have to get some.
So I'm going to read this one from Pete Taylor. He said, let's take the positives. We're 20 points clear of the relegation zone already.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Just reading a few comments on YouTube. Holly said the linesman near the cop was terrible at his job. He was. He had a mare, didn't he? The amount of times that, even in our favour as well, our players were offside. You could clearly see it level from where I was sitting, and he didn't give offside. And again, it happened to us as well at the other end in the second half. So, and he was giving throw-ins as well to the wrong team and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't the best officials, were they, on Saturday?
No. I mean, they were bad enough in the Championship, weren't they? So you always knew that they were going to
Yeah.
at this level as well. Sorry, Alan. I totally agree with John Smallwood. One thing missing from this team is urgency. We don't, we don't play with enough urgency, and I agree with that. We don't do that early enough, do we? And that goes back to what I said about us sort of like coming back from going a goal down. We seem to have the urgency when we start losing, but not when we're drawing.
Yeah.
Go on, Al. You want to say something?
I was just going to say that I've been, I wouldn't say impressed is the right word, but I've not had many thoughts about referees in a negative sense. I think the referees that have been in this division generally have been okay. Then they tend to be the newer refs. They've come. It's their first and second year in the football league, and probably a little bit up more with modern thinking and the way games should be refereed. I mean, the worst one we had was in the Fulham game, which we lost. What's his name? Stewart, whatever, and he was at the Championship normally. Yeah. Dreadful. And he's always dreadful when he comes to us, always. But I mean, I'm not saying that they're perfect, but that they are generally better. They see things that they'll allow an advantage. If it doesn't come off, they'll pull it back and so on. Which is an understanding that you need to have at that level.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Andy C, I'm new to this blog. Welcome on board, Andy, and welcome on board to anyone who's watching the Tilton Talk Show for the first time tonight. I just want to say that we've become a bit complacent at the moment. Some players think we've won the league, one title. Maybe he's got a point there. Maybe there is a bit of complacency setting in, possibly. Still days though.
I mean, yeah.
Obviously, we keep
Maybe.
saying early days, but we are
Third of
mid-November now, and
quarter of the way through.
you know what I mean? Yeah, and we did say after 10 to 15 games, we can judge it, and actually we are second in the league. I know we're not top. We've still got a game in hand, and we've got lots of. We will have games in hand because of the international breaks, we're just going to have them. So we've just got to win the games.
Yeah. I think another positive is, the little blip in the last 2 games. We're not losing, we're drawing.
No, that's right.
We're still not losing.
Yeah,
We're still not losing,
season,
so
we would have
we'll
lost
get it
then,
back.
yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm very confident.
I tell you what really annoyed me last Wednesday. Stockport against Wickham. Now, who's the leading goal scorer in League One?
League One.
Can anybody tell me?
In our league.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to lie.
Is it the Mansfield bloke? Yeah.
Well, it's Mr. Barry of Stockport County, who scored 9 goals, and he's the leading goal scorer, and he's on loan from you-know-who.
Yeah.
Well, I watched this game, and I promise you, he was absolutely useless. He never had a shot on goal. He hardly had a touch of the ball. And I'm thinking, it's typical, this is. When you want your so-and-so to score, he never looks like it. So I'm beginning to think there was a bit of an Agent Barry in that game. It was. I mean, I look forward to seeing the game because it looked like 2 sides that were going to. But Stockport were awful, absolutely awful, and he was the epitome of that. He was so. Now I didn't notice how many did he score. I think he scored on Saturday, Barry. Hey, why couldn't you have done that in a week?
Absolutely. Yeah. Chris, have we got the shirt as well with no sponsor or manufacturer on it?
We have, yeah. The only problem is I did this shirt a couple of weeks ago and I've actually forgotten myself, the sponsor and make, but I'm guessing you'll know it, Paul, anyway, so...
You're not sitting on it, are you?
Don't make me laugh. But there you go. So some of you, if any of you in the studio can see that shirt, I've really heavily disguised it.
Yeah.
No idea.
No idea.
Can you show me?
I can't see it, so I can't comment.
So,
I couldn't see it.
Paul, do you definitely know it because you'll be the judge?
I know it. Yeah,
definitely.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
I know that. I know the one.
What are we going to guess?
Yeah.
Pete Taylor's got it immediately.
Yeah, Mazza King's got.
Yeah.
That was when I was born, so I would.
That's no excuse.
It's the Mark 1 shirt, isn't it?
Mark 1 influence, yeah.
It is Mark 1.
Yeah.
Just guess the year.
Go on then.
91.
91, 92, isn't it?
92.
First play.
Or 1991, it was one of them ones.
It's 91.
92.
91.
The year you was born, Claire. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, it's the year I was born, 1991.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
It's helping everybody else out because some of us wouldn't have a clue what that shirt is.
I was 12 then.
Well, I've actually got pants older than that, and I've just took them off.
That.
The first player that came to mind was Mark Sale.
Yeah.
Simon Sturridge for me.
Sturridge, yeah.
Simon Sturridge, yeah.
There's we played some cup games against Luton, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What did the actual shirt look like?
They looked like bright yellow shorts, didn't they? And they were bright yellow shorts with it one game.
Yeah, it was an all-white strip generally, but they occasionally changed the shorts so they didn't clash with the opposition.
Yeah.
Mark Sale.
Yeah, go for it, Claire. But no, I enjoyed back then. I enjoyed, like you say, Mark, Simon Sturridge, Nigel Gleghorn as well.
Glegg at the far post.
Yeah. Ian Rogerson as well was a good player in that shirt. Vincent, good team that was.
Oh, I've actually got.
Yeah.
I'll try and show you the picture. It's actually I quite like the shirt. I quite like that. This shirt. It's quite
there it is. Yeah,
it's quite nice, isn't it?
You can get it for £80 off eBay.
I have
£80.
You got it, Mark.
80.
I have it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, an original one.
No, I have a copy.
I just looked at it.
There's a Sturridge in it here, look.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a
Can we
good.
do secret? Can we do Secret Santa this year?
Who's that picture of, Mark?
Simon Sturridge.
Oh, Sophia.
Yeah.
Good little.
No, Road, because I don't want a Coventry kit.
No, I got this. Isn't Coventry. This is
Is that third strip?
There you
That's
go.
his jacket.
Yeah, but I think I said the other week it's got something about Coventry in the label for some reason.
There you go. I've just put the
Yeah,
shirt up. It's quite a nice shirt.
Are we
that
back,
is.
Chris? Are we having a week off next week, or are we coming on? Because we obviously international break.
It's international break, so I think we should probably give it a break.
Yeah. So we're gonna have an international break ourselves.
Yeah,
and
Tilton tour
we're
break,
back, back in 2 weeks' time.
Did people need a break after seeing Chris tonight?
Hang on.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? I'm just gonna I just need to get my microphone and just.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to give the Blues a chance to score 6 again, so we can see all this again.
I think I need to up it a bit. Really, I think we'll try to make it. We'll make it 8.
I think we should.
Oh, yeah.
I think because when we said we were going to do this, we had a last 15. I reckon we should do it, don't you think, Chris? Just as a one-off special.
Go on then.
Oh,
I'm worrying. I'm worrying about him wearing a car window scarf and not a real scarf.
I'm worrying about him moonwalking as well. Then,
No questions asked.
yeah, I'm worried about him moonwalking rather than turning around and walking off.
Yeah.
This scarf is starting to chafe.
Oh dear. Got to think of something now. Then I know in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. You've said it. You've said it.
Go on, Robe. You think of something. I'll leave it for you, Robe. You can think of something in the next 5 minutes. I think you came up with a few anyway, didn't you? Before that we didn't do.
Well, for the last 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we back to the last 15 again?
Just going to do it as a one-off special because when
One-off
Chris said he was going to go naked on the show, we were doing it back then, weren't we? So I think out of
Yeah, it's a retro show tonight.
yeah. It's just it's just a flashback. But any suggestions as well, by the way, put them on the shout box and we'll pick one. Actually, that's
maybe something to do with going naked. Maybe something to do with the
something to do
body.
with naked, isn't it? If he's going to be naked.
The body.
yeah, I think the body in football.
Yeah.
It was going to be the last 20 then. Okay.
But the human body in football.
Anything to do with the human body
Good idea,
and
Mark.
football
Yeah.
for the last 20, and we'll read them off for the last 20 as we're chatting.
Okay.
I've got one.
Arsenal.
Oh, well done.
Go on, Claire.
Stephen Nailsmith instead of Naismith.
Like it. I'll go with Andy Legg.
Can I go with Colin Doyle?
He's been dying to say that for about
That's what he wanted to do,
For about
didn't he?
4 years.
Oh, lovely. That's a good one, that is like Colin.
There's a player called Bob O'Bolday or something as well.
Oh, yeah.
Bolday.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I'll just read a couple here. Andy Legg, obviously, Stern John. Joe Hart, Dickov. Oh, I'm not sure I can read all these actually. Joe Hart, Penis Mortimer. Yeah, no, I probably shouldn't read half of them. There you go. Tommy Mooney.
Malcolm Beard.
Yeah,
Not a body
Malcolm
part, but didn't we have a player called Bonk as well, going back about 20 odd years?
Yeah.
Bonk.
Okay, just
Do you remember him, Mark? Meredith?
yeah.
Bonk.
Yeah.
Bonk. No.
Polish.
It was B.A.
Yeah.
Well, B.A. Cabri pronounced
Yeah.
Bonk.
Okay.
Yeah. He played about half a dozen games, I think, on loan from somewhere, or we signed him from somewhere. I don't know where he came from.
He's not a
Came out
body.
of nowhere, didn't they?
He just appeared one day at the training ground.
Yeah.
Christophe Dugarry, hairy arse.
I've got another one which has two.
Go on, Claire.
On then.
Tony Adams.
Tony. Oh, I get it.
Oh, yeah, Tony.
No, I don't get it.
I like
I'm
Pete
really proud of that
Taylor.
one, thanks.
I reckon Pete Taylor wins. Stan Bladderidis.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. That's quality one, that is.
Yeah.
Pukovic. David Bust.
Yeah. What a lovely bloke he is. I've met him a few times out in Solihull, and
Yeah.
he's
David Bust.
had a terrible
I've
injury.
met him.
Tony Hancock.
Yeah.
That's 4. That's 4.
Tony.
On flames
Tony
there, Mark.
Hancock wasn't a footballer. A very funny man.
I
He
like
was. He was a retired footballer.
He was an impact job. He had half an hour.
this is a clever
He's a
one.
retired footballer. He's actually named Anthony Hancock, but I just had the Tony
Fair
instead.
enough.
Yeah, trying to be clever.
Does anyone remember Roger Hansbury?
Yes.
Yes.
Hansbury.
Yeah, he was in goal when I started going. My first game, he was in goal.
Yeah, if people had a meltdown Saturday, wait till they saw that late 80s.
No, yeah. What about Kevin Astley?
Kevin
Astley, yeah.
Yeah.
How about Dealey
Knockhart.
Yeah.
Who?
Anthony Knockhart. It's heart, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dealey Adebayola.
Oh, that's a good one. Is
Yeah,
Craig
that's
coming
from
back
Jason
on
Hughes.
or no?
He said he
He
was.
thought he might be able to, but he might not.
Okay. Well, we send our best wishes.
yeah.
His dog's up cold, did you say, Claire?
I've got one from the
And his
60s.
dog's having his teeth out or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not serious. It's nothing serious then.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we
I've
send
got
our
one
best.
from the early 60s, but I don't want to enhance my reputation of using rude words.
Oh, you do that every week, Al. Carry on.
All
There
right,
was
then.
one down the road, wasn't there, Al? There was one down the road that played for Villa, wasn't there, Al? You'd know him.
Sorry.
There was one down the road that played for them down the road who wasn't. I can't remember his.
Oh,
last
Oscar
name.
Arse.
Oh, so there you go.
Oscar
I
Arse,
wanted
yeah.
you to say it and not me.
Well, we've got one that plays for our team. Willem.
Yeah.
Willison.
Willem.
Yeah. I'm not saying it.
They had a midfield at the time. There was Jimmy Brown, Oscar Arse, and Barry Holt.
I wonder if we could make a team.
Hey, I'm Roy Aiken as well. Aiken Brown House.
Yeah.
Anyone remember Burnt Arse at the Baggies?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
H-A-A-S, it was spelt. It was Burnt Arse.
Fantastic. Yeah, yeah.
Oh dear. I'll read some off YouTube and I'll read some that we shouldn't really say, but I'll do them really quick. Alan Ball, Nicky Butt, Nicky Butt Ux, David Seaman. I'll say that really quick though. Bunny Larkin. Ua Willie. I don't know that one. Ua Woolley. I've no idea. Jake Livermore. That's a good one. Lee Cramp.
Lee Cramp.
Delia DeBogey.
Only when we do these, Dealer, he always
I
comes
know.
up.
Always.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is a good one. Roger Hindleg. Fanny Lee. Bone Maradona. Ex-French flyer Frank Ribery. Peter Ankelman.
Peter Ankelman.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah.
Curtis Shithouse. No, we can't say that one.
No, I'll say that one.
And there you go. I've caught up.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant.
Anyway, the van was Dick Neal.
We might as well, if we're not coming on for another 2 weeks, we might as well do predictions for Shrewsbury away, mightn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll start us off. I think we'll come back from this rot of 2 games drawing.
No.
We'll win there 3-1. I'll start us off with that. Claire, over to you.
3-0.
Okay. Mark Adams.
I think if they play like they did in the cup game, then we'll win 2-0. I'm going to say 2-0.
Okay. Mark Meredith.
David Dreadful.
2-1.
Alan.
Well, we've been there twice. We've won 2-0, 4-0, and obviously we should be winning 6 this time. But reality, I'll settle for 3.
Chris.
Yeah, I'll go 2-1 as well.
2-1 Blues, yeah?
Yeah.
Nigel Mann's gone for 7-7.
7-7.
Oh dear. Chris Baker's gone 2-0. Big Al has gone 1-1. And Meza King has gone 1-1 as well.
Does any, change subject for a second. Does anyone know when the draw is for the next round of the Bristol Street Motors?
December the 4th.
December the 4th.
December the 4th.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought I'd always sort of start of December. So okay.
Is it the knockout phase? Is it, yeah?
It's a
Yeah.
knockout now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll still be in the south half.
Is it 2 legs?
No.
No, it's just one.
No.
What, time and penalties or straight to penalties?
Straight to pens, I think.
Yeah,
I think.
depends.
You've got to remember, it's been 30 years. I can't remember.
Goal last time, wasn't it, for us?
So theoretically, how many more games are left? before
we're in the last
before you get to the
32, aren't
fight.
That's 32. 32, 16, 8,
8, and then two-legged. Yeah.
5.
4 or 5, yeah.
There's 5 more knockout rounds to go before.
Walsall play Shrewsbury tomorrow. My mum has informed me.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
we'll
They
finish
do,
that.
yes. I can't wait to watch that.
I'm watching paint dry.
So Walsall at top
if,
of our
if
group,
Shrewsbury
aren't they?
wins, we'll win the group.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Oh, right.
And doesn't that depend if we're home or away?
I was going to say, if you have to win
Possibly.
the group to be at home, if you come
Possibly.
second, you're away.
Oh.
It'd be nice to go to Wembley again, I must say.
Yeah.
Did we
Well,
say?
it's a day after my hen do, so it should
Oh, okay.
You matter.
be enjoyable.
Do we know that we're the only West Midlands club to win at the new Wembley? Because they've been a few times and haven't won once yet.
Yeah.
Apart from Coventry, Coventry didn't they, in this competition, won it actually?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the checker
Yeah,
trade. Yeah.
Yeah. We're the only West Midlands club with a B postcode to win at the new Wembley. There you go. I'll rephrase.
Mind you, to be honest, Paul, I think them lot won at the semi-final of the FA Cup, didn't they? They beat
Oh.
Liverpool.
Yeah, they won the playoffs there as well, didn't they?
Okay,
I won the playoffs.
a major final then. There you go. I'll rephrase.
Yeah.
I'm just going to change it until it works in my favour with what I'm saying.
Yeah, you've done well.
Well,
But yeah,
well
they're still waiting.
there's a few more come up. Veruca, Paul Titty,
Mark Veruca has him.
Mark
Veruca.
Veruca's great.
I like that one.
Robbie Growler. That's a good one.
Oh.
Oh dear. Gary Ablett, Giblet,
What about Belly Adibola?
Billy Adebayo.
Belly, yeah.
In fact, you could put anything at the beginning of Adebayo, couldn't you? Really?
I've got to. Do you remember Vic Keller, the referee?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
from Solihull, wasn't he?
He was from Solihull, yeah. I knew him quite well, and he worked for the Blues for a while. His first, this is all about what was I've forgotten his name now. The tall guy that plays centre forward, who played in that Mark 1 shirt. Mark, what was his name? Mark Style. Mark Style. Well, Mark Style was playing. His first league game was Headingford against Grimsby, I think. And Mark Style was playing in this game, and bloke came in behind him and knocked him over. Tried to head the ball, but he didn't. He flattened Saley and was falling, and he put his boot, between Saley's flat on the floor, and this centre half came in and trying to stop himself from falling over. He put his boot between Saley's legs.
Oh,
Can fill in the rest.
Another one,
Pardon?
Cole Palmer. It's in the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
like it.
Oh yeah.
I do
You
like
could,
the.
have said Mole, you could have said Mole Palmer. You would have had a double header then.
Oh yeah. Okay. Who's going to get the first double header?
We want double headers
We
now.
want double headers now.
got
'Cause it's too
four.
easy. You don't count.
I like this one from Ian Clayton. Tor Andre Toe
Oh yes.
Yeah.
that's-
instead of Blow. Yeah,
I like this one. Windass.
yeah. Dean Windass. Yeah.
Pull Dick off.
Anyway, he split his pride in joy in 2 parts.
Oh,
Oh, Alan's froze, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
yeah.
gone cool.
But it looks like
And he's
Chairman
still-
Mao there.
Alan's froze. It's Alan's turn to freeze.
Yeah.
And Alan's turn to become a meme.
It looks like a Russian
Another one could be
dictator.
Joe Hart.
Yeah.
yeah. what about Heel Etheridge? Heel,
Heel.
Neil, yeah. Instead of Neil.
yeah. Heel
Yeah.
Etheridge.
I'm struggling now.
I'd love to
Yeah.
say that one on YouTube, but I just can't.
Here you
say
are,
it.
Al. You better not. You're back.
I can't say it. I just can't say that one.
The one on-
Okay.
Oh yes, look at that one from Nigel Mann, Paul.
Oh, right, yeah. What didn't I think of that?
Exactly. Paul Hip Kiss. Good one.
Is that kind of a double header as well? Because you kiss as well, don't you, with part of your body?
Yes, I suppose. Yeah, it's good. It's not a triple header. A treble header. Triple header.
No, it's not a triple header.
No one's going to get a treble.
Oh, no, that one on YouTube's funny, but I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not. No, it is fun.
No.
It's very good. Yeah.
Chris, can you let Craig in?
No.
Leave hanging.
Oh, go on.
Let's just carry on with the last. Let's carry on with the last 20, and he ain't gonna have a clue what we're talking about unless he's been watching.
No. Oh, he's been watching on YouTube.
Is he watching?
I saw him watching on YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, okay, he knows it.
He's up on it.
I'm all seeing.
Here he is.
I haven't seen anything on YouTube, so don't start with
Here
all
you
that
are.
rubbish. I just read a few comments.
Here you go. Craig caught knee.
Yeah.
There you go, Craig.
How's the dog, Craig? Is the dog all right at the dentist?
Yeah. If you count 32 teeth lighter and being okay, then yes, she's fine.
Oh, jeepers.
And a
Yeah.
few.
What's the poor creature going to do to chew his?
Well, apparently, she's still got 10 teeth left, and apparently they can live without teeth, full stop. So just got to monitor things over the next few weeks, but bank balance is well and truly empty, and so is a mouth full of teeth. Bless her.
Oh, no.
I think that's only a nice segue into teeth, Farhay.
That's a good one.
Waiting for him to come back on.
I didn't think any of these would make
You
me
can't give her implants then.
No. Otherwise, she'd look like Mark. Right?
That's not very nice, is it?
Mate,
Oh dear. I didn't think these would make me laugh. They have.
Nothing wrong with implants.
Dan Scar's not a bad one, is it? Because that's the actual proper name and it actually works.
It's very good, yeah.
Yeah.
Ian Titans just done a triple.
Oh, yeah.
Gibchin.
Very good.
That's brilliant. Don't
That is
apologise.
absolutely. That's a classic.
That's only Chris.
Oh, look at this one. Daily had a denture.
That's a good one.
Chess Brown.
I don't know how much you've seen, Craig, but we decided to do a last winter. You see that?
I haven't. I have literally got back in the house, and I haven't had it on whilst I've been in the vets.
I thought I'd do a one-off special because when we
Like
agreed
hasn't
for
so
Chris
much.
to go naked when we started 6, it was that long ago. We were doing the last 15. So I thought we'd do it again. I wish
One-off special.
I just personally think he's been really cheeky at the moment.
you're just getting up for no reason now, Chris.
No, I'm just checking the wife ain't watching.
Oh dear.
So,
She hasn't-
come on, then what is the last 10 stroke 15
Football and
stroke
body
15?
parts, Craig.
Anything to
You
do
haven't
with
just
body
been
parts of
saying
football.
random names. I'm just like
Football and
sitting here
animals.
going,
He thought we were having a
Does
funny
anybody
turn.
adventure.
does anybody remember Alan's shoulder?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know the name. Yeah, I know the name.
Gareth Mouthgate.
Mouthgate.
These are terrible.
Yeah, they're getting a bit more. Martin Gringer.
Martin Gringer. Yeah, we always had some bad ones, don't we? We always,
Yeah.
a lot of us used to say them as well, to be fair.
I know. Yeah. I think probably the best ones have gone now, so people are really having to have a good.
Really,
Yeah.
don't we, all of us? That's why it keeps going quiet, because we're trying to think.
Yeah. Andy Shinney, Graham Shinney. A repeat from years ago. Hand of Cod. Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I miss doing these. I think whenever we score more than 6, we have to bring this back.
We bring this back
Okay.
Yeah.
Only if we
Once every 10 years.
once every 10 years.
Every 10 years.
Yeah.
I still think Tony Hancock is a football player, so you guys got to check that because that's a 4-word. That's a big Scrabble.
It is a good one. isn't
Tony
it?
and
Cock.
no, it's
yeah.
only 3.
Tony
Hancock.
Don't get it.
Yeah, Mark
Okay,
had
so-
actually got toe, knee, and hand. He hadn't got the rest, so
No.
you might explain to him, Mr. Meredith.
Tony sock. What you wear on the foot? That's it. Yeah, I got it.
Christ.
There was an Irish centre half called Ewan Hands.
Nigel Mann said hotter chocolate just for fun.
Troll times 8.
Like Pistache Salah.
No Stosh Salah.
Yeah. Craig, let's get your prediction for Shrewsbury away, because we're going to have a break next week. We're going to have an international break.
I'm gonna go for. Do you know what? We're gonna bounce back and we're gonna hit them hard. So I'm gonna go for 4-0. And whilst I'm doing that, Liv has just texted me and she said, can she have Marcus Rashford?
Oh,
Of course you can.
good one.
Can.
And I can confirm there was a Tony Hancock English footballer.
Yes, 4 of them.
And Anthony Eric Hancock. Hancock was his full name.
So nobody's going to beat 4, are they?
I think Liv's got.
Don't you mean Eric?
Yeah, Craig. Liv just got a double header there without realising. I reckon you got Mark. Yeah, which is a mark, isn't it?
Marker, yeah.
Us,
Gus.
Rash, Ford. So there's 2 there. There's a mark, which is
Yeah.
a mark on the body, and
Yeah.
Rash, which is a rash.
Well, actually,
Well
it's
done.
me misreading it because it was actually Marcus Rashfoot.
Oh, even better.
Oh,
Even
So,
better.
you know, so that's on par with Meredith, that is.
Shouldn't you be doing the homework, Craig, or something?
Yeah.
How about
I'll tell you, this is a homework.
how about
Yeah.
that? How about that Jamie Pollock?
Oh yeah. Jamie, he brought me a pint once, you know.
Who?
Pollock, yeah, in the sports cafe down Broad Street.
All right,
What was
okay.
you doing?
Yeah, he brought me a pint.
Memorabilia, Robe, or
Was he drunk?
Hey?
did you ask him for like a memorabilia, or
Yeah, he
Wearing
paid me
his
off,
shirt tonight. Look, you
So
see.
leave him alone.
What was you doing in there, Rob? Was you lost?
No, this is years ago. It was just after the 01 Cup final, and they're all in there.
He's begging outside.
AK, Orson.
He's on his way back from Norwich.
I'm on my way back from Cardiff. But no,
Liv's
yeah,
also
no,
said
no,
3-0.
had good-
3-0
You stop
Blues.
interrupting me, Craig. I'm
No,
telling my
we
story.
don't like you. We don't like you. She said 3-0 Blues. Stano is going to score. Anderson's going to score. And just for Claire, Laird's going to score.
No.
Wow.
if Laird scores, you will not hear the end of it.
If Laird scores, we're going to do another last 20.
All right then.
If I
If Laird
Claire's scores,
scores,
Claire's on the
we get
pitch.
to another cup final and no one listens to my story, then that's
if Laird scores, then Laird's going to be next to me.
What are you talking about there? I'm telling my story here.
Take the hint, Robe. Take the
I
hint.
wants to
I was
talk to you
going to
about
say it
Jamie
like this for
Pollock.
the whole time.
Oh, quick. Keith Bird's chin.
Keith Bird's chin.
Keith Bird's chin, yeah.
Can I have
you mean-
Lucas Jutnovich?
Say that again.
I'll have Lucas Jutnovich.
Lucas
Julian.
Jutnovich.
Hung like a horse field.
No,
Nigel
no, I
Mansell.
thought that was brilliant. I wasn't going to say that one.
Going back to Jamie Pollock, he scored probably the greatest own goal ever, didn't he, for Man City?
Yeah, against QPR.
Yeah. Anyone hasn't seen that, look it up on YouTube. Just type in Jamie Pollock, it'll be the first thing that comes up.
Yeah, right, okay.
He played about, 4 games for us, then he on loan?
Yeah, he didn't play a lot.
It's Pollock with a P, right?
Yeah.
Just before we go off, we've had our delivery of badges as well this week. So the plan is to sell them off minimum at £3.50, and all proceeds are going to go towards the the Anthony Rootley's charity. I'm trying to think what they're called now. The coach company. Who are they called? Craig.
It is the Birmingham Central Travel.
Central Travel, yeah. So all proceeds are going to go towards their charity. So there you go.
And there we go on camera. People should be able to see.
Yeah, and they're really nice
For them
badges.
to help,
They're really
is
nice.
that for them to help with Christmas presents and stuff? Yeah, is that right?
It's to do with homeless and
Yeah.
I think they're going to do an extra one with Christmas presents later on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so every single penny. So give us your money.
Yeah, what they do is fantastic, and Tony's a top man. I saw him in the club shop a few weeks back now, and was chatting away to him. So yeah, really nice guy, and what they do is brilliant, isn't it? Really is.
They do a lot.
Jose Mourinho.
Nosy,
Mourinho, yes.
Jose Mourinho.
Wow.
Can I have that one?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we'll have that one.
Danny knows, Danny Rose, Danny knows, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Loftus Cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the ones when the names are real.
Yeah.
Nicky Butt.
Nicky Butt, yeah.
And it's now 8 o'clock. Gone. 2 minutes overtime.
Well, that has absolutely flown by.
It has,
and it's been a pleasure, as it always is, doing this show. It's obviously come around quicker this time, having done last week's on Wednesday with the legend that is Lucas Djukovic. Do catch up on that, anyone that hasn't seen that, on YouTube or on Facebook. It was a great chat, wasn't it, last week with Juki? And it was
Brilliant.
interesting insights and stories from him. But yeah, it's a good night from me anyway. I've been Paul Hipkiss, a sniffly Paul Hipkiss, and it's a good night from Mark Adams. I'll come to you first. Last week, you was last week, Rob, and you had to see off the special guest, and you failed us miserably, man.
I know. You know, I don't know what came over me, but anyway, have a good night from me and a good night from go over to America, Mark.
Hi, Mark. You're on the show tonight? It's a good night from me, and it's a good night from the naked man, Chris Brown.
Oh, crikey, I'm on too now. Okay, yeah, it's a good night from me, and it's a good night from Alan One. Hello, wake up.
Good night, everybody. God bless you all, and it's a good night from the one and only Claire Giblin.
It's a good night from me, and saving the best till last.
Hey.
Craig Courtney.
And it's a good night for me, and finally, I've got to say, lives on form because she's now come up with Jude Bellingham. So I think there's that one. But,
I wonder where that.
Good night, everyone.
Craig, I wonder where that was going. Then I was getting worried.
I'm getting scared myself as well. Yeah.
Apparently, there's somebody in prison next to Mark that's called something similar as well.
No. I don't mix with the lifers.
So they've got more sense.
They don't mix with you, you mean?
They'd rather do 25 years.
Yeah.
I had a cracking story about Jamie Pollock as well.
Go on, tell us. I think we're still going.
Oh no.
What did you see
Honestly, I've seen sights in my
Good night, everybody.
What did he do, Jack?